Hello, my name is Jenna Fosiger, and you're watching Cryptic Cryptids YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell, and I really do appreciate it. On this episode, I went in search of the Rodman Petroglyphs in the Rodman Wilderness Mountains area. They have petroglyphs there, and petroglyphs are more rare than pictographs. Petroglyphs are actually carved into the rock, and they take a little bit more time, I would say, and more effort. And so these are actually etched into the rock, and they could be thousands of years old. There's really no way to tell. The maize stone is another example of a petroglyph where it's actually carved into the stone. It takes some time and some skill, I would say, to do these kinds of things. The Rodman Mountains Wilderness, a cinder cone there, and it's interesting because there's the cinder cone in the Rodman Wilderness area, then there's the Pisgah lava field, and then next to that is the Anno volcano crater. And I did a little bit of research, and I couldn't find out how old the Rodman Wilderness cinder cone is, but the Pisgah volcano is one vent of 4 cinder cones in the Lavic Lake volcanic field. There may have been activity at this site as recently as 2,000 years ago. However, most believe that the last eruption occurred as early as 20 to 50,000 years ago. And then next to that is the Anno crater, which is also a cinder cone, and it's said to be 79,000 years old, with the most recent eruption approximately 10,000 years ago. So they're very interesting geological features, and it must have been very active at one time. Now, doing all this research, I came across something very different, very unusual, and it's called Hercules finger. And I am definitely going to put this on the list of places to go. In fact, I'm going to try to go there as soon as this weekend. But this time, I was in search of the petroglyphs at the Rodman Mountain Wilderness area. And to get to that area, I had to go through the Johnson Valley. And I just happened to stop and take this picture of the landscape. And zooming into the foreground, what is that? I didn't see it at the time, as, you know, often is the case, but what is that? I really wish I could say, but it looks like something nonetheless. And then I got this picture of this gigantic half of a rock, and it was in the middle of a place where there were no other rocks, and I don't know where the other half of the rock is. So we finally made it to the Rodman Mountain Wilderness area, and then all we had to do was find the petroglyphs. We came into this valley, and then there we saw the cinder cone, or the end of it, where the people have been working away at it and chipping away at it for whatever purposes. And there it is. Now, I took this picture of a rock along the way, and I zoomed in because it was such an unusual rock. It would have taken a lot of effort to get to the rock. But later, zooming in, there's definitely some stuff. And this area is known for petroglyphs. So I'm going to assume these are petroglyphs that were underneath the side of this rock. But unfortunately, I can't tell what they are. It looks like it would be worth the trek over there to go see. But there's, you know, that would be cross country. A little bit treacherous. Now, I've got to tell you, it was so hot. But luckily, we got to see some petroglyphs, and it was really exciting to be there in front of those ancient, possibly 1,000-year-old art. What were they saying? What was life like back then? How old? Oh, just so many questions. And the fact of that they're so unusual, like this reptilian creature, is really fascinating to me. possibly a spiral, maybe an eyeball. And yes, you can see the scratches from the vandals. Shame on them. More than shame on them. Curses, curse, curse. The scratch marks are like fainter and lighter. They don't have the same weight as the artwork from the ancient times does, but still, it's just a shame and a disgrace and a despicable act to do what they did. But looking beyond that, they did these art, a lot of them I see in these little dashes. They etched these little dashes and created such beautiful artwork. And then it got this bright orange moss that was growing on the shaded side of this rock. And I think that's a sign of it being really old, but it's so pretty. I don't know what it is or why it's there, but it's very pretty, and I think it means it's really old. I wish I would have taken more time to get some better pictures and looked deeper to see if I could find more stuff, but it was really hot. I was on a time limit, and this looks like a UFO to me. Obviously, there's some thin scratch marks. UFO was sort of the original picture there. Look at this amazing artwork here. And why is the animal almost the same size as the person? I mean, everything that you look at, these things you've got to think was intentional. And so that animal, whatever kind of animal it is, it's not a deer. Is it a cat creature? I don't know, but it's big. I don't think it's a deer. Its tail's too long. And I don't know what it is. But here it is. The Dogman of Rodman Wilderness Petroglyphs. Well, we have some other petroglyphs that they made of people, and the people don't have tails. This one has a tail. And if you look at the face, to me, I see a snout, I see two ears, I kind of see the two eyes. And he's real tall. He seems to be taller than the people pictures, the people petroglyphs that were etched into into these volcanic rocks. He has something in his hand that's very large, and he has a tail. Now this turtle has almost been completely etched out, but turtles are a very common symbol and creature that's used in ancient art, possibly as old as the giants. Maybe that's why they were able to scratch so much better and deeper than these fools. I wish I could see what this symbol is underneath here. And I like this shadow that's being cast on this turtle. And even it looks like a human face and then a dog man, the shadows. There's this square symbol, don't know what it is. There's another symbol here, don't know what that is. There's another symbol below, but I didn't get a good picture of that to really tell what that is either. And I think that if I would have spent more time getting more pictures and at different times, that I would have found a lot more. Now here's a person, you see, they don't have a tail. They don't have a snout like the dog person did. So I think that that was intentional. They made that one look like a dog man for a reason. This one looks more human. The proportions as well. And then there was this, which it's just pretty darn amazing to stand in front of it and to think that thousands of years ago, maybe giants were carving this for whatever reason, what the message is. I kind of think there's an owl at the bottom, maybe. And then I don't know what the symbol means. And this could be a hand at the top. It's got 5 limbs. It could be arms. It could be fingers. It could be eyelashes, like an eye. And then this symbol down below, I wish I knew what it meant. But I feel like I've seen that before. That sort of like centipede-y kind of thing, but what does it mean with the open? Oh, it's just so beautiful. And I wish that I had more answers. And there was beautiful wildlife blooming in this incredible heat, which is amazing. And you got to leave it there. You got to leave everything there. This area was designated by the United States Congress in 1994. The Rodman Mountain Wilderness area has a total of 34,264 acres. A series of ridges and valleys climbing from 2,000 feet to almost 5,000 feet are the result of faults which cross this wilderness. A lava flow slices this area in two from northwest to the southeast, forming a sloping mesa. More than a half a dozen natural water tanks sit within the lava flow. Two of the tanks, Hidden Tank and Deep Tank, hold thousands of gallons of water. One of only 7 core raptor breeding areas in the desert is within this wilderness, where prairie falcons and golden eagles are known to survive. Leave no trace. To ensure protection of this unique area, please follow the Leave No Trace principles listed here when visiting the Black Mountain Wilderness. Unless otherwise specified, no motorized equipment or mechanical transport, with the exception of wheelchairs, is allowed. This provides a more natural experience in the outdoors and is generally true of all federal lands managed as designated wilderness. Plan ahead and prepare. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. Dispose of waste properly. Leave what you find. Minimize campfire impacts. Respect the wildlife. Be considerate of other visitors. The Rodman Mountain Wilderness is part of the National Wilderness Preservation System. This system of lands provides clean air, water, and habitat critical for rare and endangered plants and animals. And we're just very lucky that here in the United States, we're able to freely visit these areas and not be on some guided tour. We can come and go as we please, and we're so lucky to be able to do that in so many places all over the United States. And in order to keep it that way, we just can't vandalize things. And I know most people would never think of that. And so don't litter, please. Now, I take a lot of pictures where I zoom in on things and I zoom in on rocks and stuff, but I don't usually get signs that there were petroglyphs on those rocks. And that's what looks like happened here. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing those pretty amazing petroglyphs in the Rodman Wilderness area. And I really want to go back there. I didn't see a lot of them, and I want to go back to those water areas so that I can take some pictures of the prints around the area. There's definitely more to explore in this area, and I feel very fortunate to be there when I'm there, but it was so hot. It didn't really leave much time to actually be out there exploring. All right, thank you for watching this episode. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell. Thank you. Bye.